Hey, it's TrackstarGGs, back with another video in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This time with a level 40 class build, Graveborn Stabbomancer. Let's get into the video. This build has a heavy focus on crit damage and dark magic bleed, unrelated to spells, so therefore it's not going to use a capstone of either tree to maximize the most critical hit damage out of the Stabbomancer class. I'll get to that at the end. For now, I'll be speccing the tree as if I was leveling from 0 to 40. I always choose to spec in the Mortal Vessel because maximum health is a necessary factor for Graveborn. Next, I'll be speccing into Faithful Thralls because it increases damage dealt for every companion and I can get companions with guns. Also, I'll be speccing into kill skills for companions dealing bonus dark magic damage over the spell version. The reason why I spec into Harvest over Stain of the Soul first is because I can have more damage per stack with multiple companions compared to using my spell every 10 to 5 seconds. This ultimately gives me more overall damage for my build and more overall damage for enemies all around the map. Next, I'll be speccing into Dark Pact with 5 points. I don't spec into Sanguine Sacrament because it's health regeneration and my character is a bleed. It also is a health regeneration on spell cast and the duration of the ability isn't really long. Moving on, I'll be speccing into Dark Hydra because it's a kill skill. I won't be speccing into Stain of the Soul because it has to do with spells, and once again, spells are cooldowns. I won't be messing with Dread Covenant either because this messes with Reaper of Bones, which is the kill skill that I go with. Next, speccing into Ascension is a necessary feature of the class because of the kill skill that gives you maximum health stacks on top of whatever health you have. Also, you'll definitely need Lord of Edges. Now, Lord of Edges is as far down the tree as we'll be going, and we are fully specced into the Graveborn class for this specific Bloodsteel class. Now, we'll be speccing into the Stabbomancer class. Once we pick the Stabbomancer class, we're going to spec fully in the Arsenal. We're going to skip the movement speeds. We're going to go directly to status effect, get a full 5 there. The reason I skip on the movement speed is because in most cases, you can't really move too fast. The maps are too small, and if you're moving too fast, it's very difficult to aim. And I like to actually shoot at stuff, although I do have a companion-heavy build, so I chose not to use these. Instead, I'll be inspecting my points into Nimble Finger at full because fire rate is king in Wonderlands. And also, I'll be expecting 2 points into Exploit Their Weakness. Exploit Their Weakness is awesome because it gives me 4 points damage increase per status effect. So if I have fire, ice, and dark magic, that's a 12% global increase of damage for everyone shooting at that enemy. With Exploit Their Weakness and Nimble Finger specced into, we finally have 5 points left for Sneak Attack, which gives us max critical damage at 15%. Now that's going to leave you with 1 more point, and you can choose whichever place you want to put that point. But for me, I would choose this spot here because of the fact that it applies a random status effect every time you get a melee critical hit. Now to explain Enchants, because it seems everyone's confused about what's going on here. And I was too, up until very recently when I ran into a player who had the game 4 weeks before release. And that made me want to become a YouTuber. So here I am. But anyway, melee weapons, shields, and spells have passive enchantments. And weapons are singular enchantments. So if you're holding a gun, it'll trigger the enchantment. But it won't trigger the other enchantments on guns you're not currently holding. This means you can have a total of 4 enchantments at a basic level, or you can have 8 enchantments at once. For my Graveborn build, I don't focus on crit chance or spell cooldown because both of those are unimportant for me, because I figured out a way to get my extra skill to come back in seconds with Blackguard's Thirds of Pinwheels and the Umbral Threads of Fate. My action skill cooldown is 50 seconds normally, and when it's over, with these two things equipped, I can bring it back in under 5 seconds. My spell with 2 charges saves my life. Now, when it comes to the actual build, I like to make sure that I'm using things that utilize dark magic's potential to the fullest, while also having a decent mix of elements. Poison, and sometimes frozen. Now, to take him out into the field to show you the damage. If you notice, I sometimes forget to use my action skill because I do so much shred without it, I don't recognize I'm not using it. Mind you, this is on Chaos level 11, although most of my weapons are chaotic anyway, and it's not really much of a difference. With that, that'll be all for the video. Thanks for checking in with TrackstarGGs. I'm checking out. Do not subscribe.
I feel like myself again. Out of spell slots. Are you stupid enough to mess with me? Ha ha!